Hello and welcome to another CSN broadcast. My name is Trevor Sickam. I'm doing commentary for you tonight. Working the camera with me is Mr. Mike Burns. We're here at Manatee High School for tonight's matchup. FSHAA Class 5 Women's Varsity Soccer. It's the hosting Manatee Hurricanes versus the visiting Lakewood Ranch Mustangs. Mustangs are 3-0 on the year. The home Hurricanes are just 1-0, so it's a matchup of undefeateds here. The ref's whistle, Manatee starts with the ball, and we are underway. A quick shot from Lakewood Ranch, far outside the 18. And a steal from Julia Ortiz. My goodness. That one even caught me by surprise. And just in the blink of an eye, less than 30 seconds into the game, the visiting team takes the 1-0 lead. What a shot from Julia Ortiz. She was able to steal the ball off Manatee trying to play it back from their own centerpiece. Just winning the ball cleanly, taking the shot right away, and it's over the keeper's head. What an incredible effort now as Manatee tries to regroup here from their own defensive end. Sydney Cornell here with the ball at midfield. She goes wide to Tyler Einsman on the far side of the field, but she brings it back inside. Meredith Roberts running into a little bit of trouble. And it'll be out for a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Mustangs now throwing the ball up to Ortiz, trying to get the ball back up to her. They do not. Manatee tries to clear it, but a poor trap up from the forward leads to Lakewood Ranch possession at the midfield, but Lakewood Ranch squanders it there, and now it's at the feet of Sydney Cornell. Her pass is deflected as Lakewood Ranch regains possession outside. A quick flick in the middle. Rebecca Burns knocks it out of bounds. And Lakewood Ranch will have the throw in right at midfield from their own end. The throw right at midfield over the head of her teammate. Now Jessica Schaefer with the ball. Going out wide now at the feet of Tyler Einsman. In Manatee's first game versus Braden River, Einsman was a key part of a 7-0 really trouncing of the home Pirates. Einsman with some great long passes, setting up her teammates on the majority of their goals. We'll see if she can have the same impact here from that right back spot. She has the ball here, centers it into Meredith Roberts, but she loses possession off a poor trap. And now it's out to Lakewood Ranch, who tries to switch fields, but out of bounds. It'll be a Manatee throw-in on their own end. Lindsay Gould throws it in quick. And Brianna Blethyn gets her first touches of the game. Heading clear from Lakewood Ranch, and it's Manatee's throw-in right around the 30-yard line. Cornell with the throw into Krebser, but her pass is a little bit out of Cornell's reach on the sideline. It'll go out of bounds for now, a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Big throw-in. Finds the head of a teammate, but nothing to threat. Now they'll switch possessions on a throw-in and do it again. Jessica Schaefer trying to work off her defender here at the midfield. Looking outside to Einsman, but she pushes it back in instead. Brianna Blethyn now in the midfield. Try to put on the moves one too many times. The ball was stolen. A quick attack there from Lakewood Ranch. But it's just out of reach of Maria Miller. Some great soccer here being played early on. These teams very evenly matched. And a few of the top teams here in the area. Sets up to be a very good game, but obviously, as we know already, Lakewood Ranch jumping out to that early 1-0 lead. We'll see how monumental that goal will be. Manatee now trying to capitalize. A great through ball from Jessica Schaefer, but it's in the numbers of Lakewood Ranch's defense and into the hands of their goalkeeper, who sets now for a punt. The punt reaching midfield, but Lakewood Ranch can't keep possession. Oh, but a slip there from Manatee, as Lakewood's able to clear it up a little bit. Possession still at the Hurricanes. Schaefer now with the ball at her feet. Quickly taps it outside to Gould. Gould back inside to Schaefer. As she'll look to switch fields, she gets it to Krebser. And now Einsman on the far side of the field. Einsman with a big long pass into the 18 to Meredith Roberts. And she goes colliding with the keeper, almost getting her head on it for the goal. Danger not over yet here for Lakewood Ranch, as Cornell's cross goes across the mouth of the 18-yard box, but now out of bounds near the far corner. It'll be a Lakewood Ranch throw, and a good pass into the 18 there, as we were talking about earlier from Einsman. Roberts almost getting her head on it to equalize this game. Lakewood Ranch playing a little dangerously on their side of the field, but now knocking it up near the midfield line for a Canes throw-in. Lakewood Ranch showing a lot more quickness on the defensive end to counter the speed of Manatee than the Pirates were able to show last match for the Canes. Pirates heavily relied on stopper Kendall McNabb, and obviously it was a strategy that burned them far too many times, giving up 7 goals in that game. Lakewood Ranch playing a much more secure style of defense, getting numbers back easily, fortifying their defense with more than 4 players at a time. As the Mustangs get possession and a throw-in on their own end, now they try to switch fields to find some space and get it out. Quick pass back all the way to the keeper here now for Manatee as she tries to find Sydney Cornell on the edge, but it goes over her head. The Mustangs will take over on Manatee's side of the field. Twisting, throwing in the ball now in midfield. Played back now with the Mustangs at their own defensive end. But it'll be a throw-in and possession will stay to the Mustangs. Lakewood Ranch trying to find the feet of a teammate on the other side. Good work from Cornell trying to challenge that pass, and now you see her again with a sliding effort just out of reach for a quick counterattack. Lakewood Ranch strong in the midfield, but not very organized as they seem to be moving players forward. Now we see Manatee matched up and a through ball up to Sydney Cornell. She outruns her defender, gets a foot on it. But right to Lakewood Ranch's keeper for an easy save. Cornell had to make her move early as the defender was gaining fast. Now we have a punt from Lakewood Ranch all the way up to midfield. Ortiz with a tough challenge. Now Rebecca Burns to take the set kick here for Manatee at midfield. She does. Einsman trying to find someone on the edge of the 18-yard box, but that's deflected and out. Oh, and a tough move here from Manatee could lead to a big counterattack, but an offsides call squanders that. Manatee back on their heels on defense. Kyra Himes getting beat a couple times here early in this first half, and no one behind her to help as she goes to challenge the ball. She kind of overcorrected once or twice and it's burned them a bit, but not for a goal. That wasn't where the goal was made. Here we have a move for Lakewood Ranch. as Maria Miller is one-on-one with the keeper. Oh, and her shot is just a bit outside. But Maria Miller for Lakewood Ranch, and even Julia Ortiz, you can tell what kind of game plan Lakewood Ranch is going for. They're just trying to get any kind of through ball they can to those two girls up front, knowing they've got the speed to beat about anybody in this league. They've shown it here early on. Big reason why Lakewood Ranch is up 1-0. Himes now fighting for it, trying to get it out. Now crossing the field to Einsman off her foot and out of bounds. Lakewood Ranch takes over at about the 25-yard line. The throw in into Miller on the outside of the 18, but her pass poorly judged and out of bounds for a Canes throw in. And we're seeing a move be made already. Kyra Himes, a good defender, but just doesn't have the speed to match up too well with Lakewood Ranch. We see her come out of the game, and Sydney Morrow takes her place. Hopefully to get a bit more quickness or to see if some kind of change might be able to help their defense against Lakewood Ranch's speedsters. We resume the game here. Canes now in a dangerous position. A through ball. As Lakewood Ranch's Julia Ortiz got behind the defense with the through ball where it needed to be, but into the hands of the keeper, as now she punts it up to midfield. To the head of Meredith Roberts. Nothing there, even from a incoming challenge from Sydney Cornell. A good effort from Meredith Roberts to deflect that ball, but out of bounds. Lakewood Ranch will keep it. Throw in here and a good step up from Lindsay Gould to stop the attack there. But Lakewood Ranch now gains back possession. Gould again there to stop it. Brianna Blethen knocks the ball up there. We saw her heavily involved in their Manatee's first game. Hasn't really touched the ball nearly as much as she did in the openings of their game versus Braden River. Lakewood Ranch trying to take it out from their defense. Kicking it all the way up to Maria Miller. But Manatee wins possession. Cornell with the ball. She loses it. Rebecca Burns trying to intercept. She can't, but it's at the feet of Einsman. She gets it anyways. Ooh. A run to the outside there from Manatee, but it was intercepted just at the last second. A fairly even match in terms of skill in the midfield, but possession, I would give the nod to Lakewood Ranch here so far. Controlling it more than Manatee, it appears. A good move from Sydney Cornell, the muscular man off the ball. Jessica Schaefer now into the 18-yard box. She's trying to find some open space to get a cross off, and she does. Can't find the feet of a teammate. Now to Tyler Einsman. She tries to give one of those long passes back. And now Lindsay Gould giving it back to the keeper. Well, that was a dangerous, could have been a dangerous play there as the speedy Maria Miller was right on her tail. A great through ball here from Sydney Cornell. Meredith Roberts, interception from the keeper. She knocks it at goal, but not enough power on it. It is just stopped by the defender. The danger's not over yet. Sydney Cornell trying to find an opening. She does! And the corner of the net! What an effort from Sydney Cornell to stay with it and knock that goal in the corner just past the hands of the keeper to tie this game 1-1, 15 minutes in. Boy, that goal, obviously Cornell putting it away, but it was the effort by Roberts to chase full speed after a ball that you thought was safely in the keeper's hands. She ends up getting a deflection. Now the keeper was far out of position, and that's what really made that goal possible. 1-1 here, 15 minutes in, about 30 left to play here in the first half. Can hear Manatee's head coach calling for more pressure at the midfield. And just as he says that, Brianna Blethen getting a little too aggressive, leading to a Lakewood Ranch set piece. Mustangs with the ball now. Lindsay Gould's clear. Off of Lakewood Ranch, bouncing all the way back. Now she has to clear it out. A throw-in right at that close corner here from Lakewood Ranch in a dangerous position. She throws it over, finds the head of Maria Miller. She flicks it back over her head into the 18, but nothing there. Schaefer and Roberts now trying to form the counterattack. Roberts clearing it all the way up to Schaefer, but she can't trap it well enough and right into the defense for Lakewood Ranch. Manatee taking over possession here at the midfield. Blethen with it at her feet. Giving it out to Tyler Einsman. Einsman with a nice move to get open. Carrying it forward now. A through ball to Jessica Schaefer. Schaefer trying to find some room. A shot from Clarissa Palmer. No, that shot was actually from Maya Krebser, but it was deflected back to Einsman. She crossed it over the 18, and it harmlessly rolls out for a Lakewood Ranch goal kick. A nice heading challenge. Puts the ball at the feet of Sydney Cornell, but she tries to cross it over. Nothing doing there. Lakewood Ranch now with an unorthodox attack, pinballing all the way up to their end of the field. Maria Miller trying to give it outside, but now it's a Canes throw-in. Miller again with a nice header, but Lindsay Gould again there to clear it. Meredith Roberts with a nice flick of the head out on the outside to Jessica Schaefer, but one too many touches, the ball rolls out of bounds. Lakewood Ranch will take over on their own end. Manatee's trying to get the ball up to their forwards any way they can. But the ball goes out of bounds around the 25-yard mark. Canes take over with a throw-in in what could be an attacking position. Sydney Morrow to the throw into Meredith Roberts. Back to her, and she takes a long shot at goal far over and wide of the goal. It'll be a goal kick for Lakewood Ranch. Some action on Manatee's sideline as we see Katie Gabbert standing and stretching. We'll see if she comes in for a substitution here anytime soon. It appears so. But in the meantime, Lakewood Ranch will take a throw in. Kane's the recipient of some pinball action in the midfield. Tyler Einsman, a nice move to get open on her defensive end. She finds Jessica Schaefer at midfield, but some good defense by the official there. Puts the ball now at the feet of Bree Lethen. Lethen outside to Morrow. A slide tackle. Leads to a throw-in for Lakewood Ranch, and we do indeed see Katie Gabbert on the sideline looking like she's going to sub in as we reach the water break. Some good soccer being played by both teams. Each have had their chances on the offensive end. I would actually probably say that Manatee has had a couple more quality possessions on their attacking end. Lakewood Ranch just able to knock in that first goal. But Manatee able to answer. Here we are 1-1 with about 20 minutes to play. A little over 20 minutes here in the first half. We see Katie Gabbert coming into the game for Clarissa Palmer. Rebecca Burns here taking the throw-in. Lethen trying to work off Julia Ortiz. And Ortiz with a foul now gives Manatee a quick chance at a restart. Gets it out to Tyler Einsman in space. A cross into the middle over the head of Katie Gabbert. A clear outside now leads to a Manatee throw-in at around the 20-yard line. Morrow's pass intercepted by Lakewood Ranch, but beautifully challenged by Rebecca Burns. Sydney Cornell now on the opposite side of the field, muscling her way to possession, trying to get the ball across to Meredith Roberts, but just off the head of Lakewood Ranch. Jessica Schaefer now taking her try at goal, just wide, rolling out for a goal kick. And a tough challenge now gives the ball back to Manatee. Rebecca Burns, the quick play out to Tyler Einsman. Einsman trying to make something happen with some moves, but can't get the defender to bite. Instead, the ball comes over to Sydney Morrow, switching fields. Morrow trying to find her teammate. She can't. Lakewood Ranch now sending the ball up in a through ball, forcing Morrow back now to kick it back to the keeper. The keeper with a nice ball, almost all the way up to Sydney Cornell at the midfield, but it's intercepted by Lakewood Ranch. Good challenge from Burns there, and Manatee now leads to a through ball from Cornell trying to find Roberts on the outside, but she could not. Einsman now trying to find Roberts. Lakewood Ranch guarding Meredith Roberts like a hawk here, it seems. Always having a spy on wherever she is. Jessica Schaefer now in the restart at midfield for Manatee. Her pass is deflected. And then a pass by Maya Krebser off the official. That's the second time this game he's gotten into the action. Lakewood Ranch now with possession in the 18-yard box, but outnumbered and into the hands of Manatee's keeper. Manatee now possibly with numbers. Two Lakewood Ranch players all the way still back at goal, slow to get back. But Manatee taking their time getting up to the field. Tyler Einsman now a long ball through all the way into the 18. Katie Gabbert was there. But the defender was there too and ended up getting up to it first. Throw in here for Gabbert. Gabbert a quick throw right to the Manatee player. But at the feet of Sydney Morrow. A header from Lakewood Ranch now. We'll have a throw in about at the same location on the opposite side of the field. Sydney Cornell gets it into Einsman. Einsman now into the 18-yard box, finding the head of Meredith Roberts, but just too far out. Not enough power on that, and it rolls out for a goal kick. Lakewood Ranch keeper knocks it up. Meredith Roberts the first to get it, but it's out of bounds on her. And a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Some possession not really being kept by either team here. At midfield, Rebecca Burns a diving, sliding clear there. Still tough to determine who's really in control right now. Sydney Morrow, too much hands on the back of her attacker, and it'll be a Lakewood Ranch free kick here at the 30-yard line. We'll see if Lakewood Ranch has any set pieces here. We saw Braden Rivers score their lone goal on a set piece last week, but I doubt Lakewood Ranch can threaten here all the way from 30. But a nice bend into the 18 sends Rebecca Burns to the floor. But nothing more than that. Maria Miller now getting it, passing it outside. Danger not over here for Manatee. The ball still here in the attacking midfield. Now all the way back to the Lakewood Ranch defense. The two teams exchange clears, and Lakewood Ranch keeps possession, now trying to build from their defensive end. again, some bouncing possessions here. Not really giving control to either team. A through ball, not really to anyone. Meredith Roberts keeping it in, but no teammates there. It just seems like the ball can't find the feet of a teammate, no matter which team it is that's trying to deflect possession. Brianna Blethen now trying to slow the game down and keep possession, but instead fires it back too far for Tyler Einsman, and she turns it over for a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Just under 15 left here to play at Manatee High School Stadium. 1-1 is the score after Lakewood Ranch scoring within the first 30 seconds of the game, and Manatee answering at the feet of Sydney Cornell. Katie Gabbard takes a seat as Clarissa Palmer re-enters the game, and we see her take her position out on the right wing, and Sydney Cornell goes back to where she started at left forward. A careless back pass leads to now Manatee throw-in on their attacking end. And it'll be Palmer to throw it in. She finds the feet of Jessica Schaefer, who kicks it all the way back to Rebecca Burns. Burns now switching fields to Sydney Morrow, trying to find Sydney Cornell, but she can't. Jessica Schaefer now trying to work her defender off the ball. She does, gets it to the feet of Brianna Blethen, and now Tyler Einsman trying to chip it over the defense. She finds the shoulder of Meredith Roberts, and it's called as a handball. Free kick now, Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch, a good throw, header, some nice 1-2 soccer, but just out of bounds there for the Mustangs. Canes take over on their defensive end here with a throw-in. And Sydney Morrow. Sydney Morrow getting a lot of the action here on the defensive end. We saw Rebecca Burns as the focal point for the defense last week. Now it seems like Sydney Morrow's the one who's getting picked on, but she's delivered for the most part so far, standing her ground when the play comes to her. Ball bouncing around in the air. Finally finding rest at the feet of the Hurricanes, but it's blasted out of bounds by Lindsay Gould. Now a Lakewood Ranch throw-in on Manatee's side of the field. Lakewood Ranch quick to get the ball back from their own end. Almost had a little trouble with Cornell and Roberts threatening, but not much there. Sydney Morrow, a good move to burn two defenders. Now she's got Sydney Cornell down the line, but she's beat to the ball by the defender. Would have been a breakaway chance down the sideline if Cornell could have got there before the defender. It's always the what if in soccer. Or in all sports, really. The keep us all so enthusiastic with it. Brianna Blethen at the midfield. She finds the feet of Jessica Schaefer on the opposite side. Blethen out of the outside. Sydney Morrow tries to make a stop-and-go move. She fails there, but it's still deflected out of bounds. She retains possession. Manatee still in a threatening zone. Jessica Schaefer trying to find Maya Krebser. We haven't heard her name too often either. Oh, and a through ball that if it wasn't stopped by Lindsay Gould could have been a real trouble with Julia Ortiz, the goal scorer for Lakewood Ranch. Kind of streaking down the field there. Lakewood Ranch now with possession on their defensive end. Trying to work it up through the midfield, but it's intercepted by Krebser. Lakewood Ranch now being forced to retreat with possession. Moving back on their defensive end. But a good job finding open space. Leads to here now an attack on a 2-on-1 situation. Burns is committed to the ball, and she's able to win a clean challenge, knocking the ball out of bounds. If she didn't get to that and it was a free kick, could have been great trouble for Manatee. Instead, she does a great job of getting the ball out of bounds and away from the attacker cleanly, as to not give up a free kick either. Throw in here from Lakewood Ranch in an attacking position about 5 yards from the corner flag. Sydney Morrow checking out of the game and back into the game is Kyra Himes. The throw-in able to find a teammate, but off the head of Julia Ortiz. Goes out of bounds for a Manatee free kick. Some fancy footwork here from Meredith Roberts at the midfield. As she burns her defender, tries to get a through ball up to Sydney Cornell. Cornell with the ball at her feet now, but just outnumbered on the sidelines. Manatee doing a good job of controlling the midfield with Krebser and Blethen, but Lakewood Ranch doing a good job of controlling the sidelines themselves. Each one is sort of countering the other's attack so far. It's great to see these kind of schemes go head-to-head to see who can get it. Julia Ortiz now for Lakewood Ranch. In the blink of an eye, just like the first goal. 1 second, it's on Lakewood Ranch's defensive side. The next is a through ball just past Rebecca Burns, and the speed of Julia Ortiz, too much for Burns. It was in an awkward position as Manatee's keeper sprinted out to try to defend it, but the deflection ended up going behind the keeper, and an easy tuck-away goal. Ortiz now with her second of the game, now with 6:30 left to play in the half. With the speed of Julia Ortiz, proving to be a handful here from Manatee, a team that looked much faster than the Braden River Pirates last week. Here comes Lakewood Ranch again, now targeting Himes with their speed again on the outside, but Himes is able to deflect it off Lakewood Ranch now for a throw-in and Manatee. Maya Krebser now defending Ortiz. Ortiz trying to give a ball down the sideline, but it's just out of the reach of her teammate. I'm being told the scoreboard actually started at 45 minutes. Women's soccer at the high school level only plays 40-minute halves, so the referee just signaled about 2 minutes left to play here in the first half at stoppage time, as Manatee will try and see if they can knock one in, possibly equalize this game before the half. Throw in here from Himes right at the midfield line. Manatee now being forced to retreat, but a good challenge. Puts the ball at the feet of Meredith Roberts. Now to the midfield of Blethen. Blethen back to Burns, who gives it out to Einsman on the far side. Einsman winning the ball from her defender. Just out of the reach of Clarissa Palmer on the outside, as Manatee was just starting to get some momentum. Manatee with the ball now from their defensive end. Poor touches from Hines now leads to a turnover. But a poor touch from Lakewood Ranch does the same. Canes throw in here to the feet of Blethen. And now back to Himes. Hines trying to get into the midfield. Krebser now winning it back, finding Cornell. Cornell with a shot all the way down and into the 18, trying to find Clarissa Palmer coming into the 18 on the far side of the field, but just out of her reach into the hands of the Lakewood Ranch goalkeeper. She takes her time knowing the half is close. Punts it up the midfield. And there it is. Lakewood Ranch will go into the half on the road here at Manatee High School Stadium with a 2-1 lead. Both at the feet of Julia Ortiz. The first goal within the first 30 seconds of the game, and the second one coming in the blink of an eye, almost in the same fashion as she gets behind the defense. The speed of Maria Miller and Julia Ortiz seeming to contrast with Manatee's defense. But they were able to get one in, as well as Sydney Cornell hit the corner of the net to make this just a one-deficit game. Welcome back to the second half of action between the Manatee Hurricanes and the visiting Lakewood Ranch Mustangs. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Road Warriors. Lakewood Ranch here starting with the ball in the second half. We'll see if they score as quickly off the draw as they did in the first half, but we're nearing 30 seconds in here, so I'm sure the time's elapsed already. The Canes will look to get Krebser more involved at the midfield. She was kind of silent early on in the game. Lakewood Ranch here with the ball now, clearing it up all the way to the edge of the 18, challenging Manatee's keeper, but she's able to get her hands on it here for a goal kick. Tyler Einsman the boot up to clear the ball, but not in the area of any of her teammates. Lakewood Ranch will take over from their defensive end. A long throw cannot reach your teammate. And now a cross into the middle, a dangerous one. As Sydney Morrow had to intercept that one for the Canes. No one really getting to it. Now Lakewood Ranch retreating all the way back to their goalkeeper, who boots it back up to the midfield and finds the feet of Julia Ortiz. Lakewood Ranch now trying to out-sprint the defense to the ball, but a little too aggressive there, leads to a free kick for Manatee. Boy, Manatee being caught in some tough situations with through balls going right towards the edge of that 18-yard box where, they really make Manatee's goalie think about, do I come out, do I not? The defense getting burned by the speed of Lakewood Ranch's forward, so that even makes it tougher knowing that they could get behind the defense really on any of these plays. That's how that second goal for Julia Ortiz happened. We almost saw another one there. Ball goes all the way to Lakewood Ranch's defensive end, but they'll retain for the throw-in. The ball thrown in now on the close edge as Tyler Einsman retreats and tries to contain her player. Quick move inside, snuffed out by Einsman. Good defense there, but the trouble's not done as Lakewood Ranch wins it back. A kick from 30 yards out and an offside's called there on Lakewood Ranch, leads to a Canes free kick in their own 18-yard box. Lakewood Ranch playing with a bit more numbers on their offensive end so far this half. You saw them open up the first half really just kind of sticking Maria Miller and Julia Ortiz up at the forward positions, trying to boot it up to them, have them run and get behind the defense with their speed. You're seeing a little more numbers from the outside from Lakewood Ranch here to kind of give them support in the early parts of the second half. Lindsay Gould trying to clear it, but only finding the head of a Lakewood Ranch attacker. A throw-in now about 10 yards from the far corner, and Lakewood Ranch could have a chance to capitalize. She tries to find the feet of Julia Ortiz. She does, but it's deflected out by Sydney Morrow. We will get our first corner kick of the game for Lakewood Ranch. Mustang players all the way at the edge of the 18-yard box, far outside the attacking area, but here they come now into the zone. It's a good kick to the far side, right over two Lakewood Ranch attackers. Now Manatee starts the counterattack at the feet of Meredith Roberts. Roberts to the outside, trying to find Sydney Morrow, but it's just off of her feet. Now out of bounds and a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Mustangs now giving up possession to Manatee. Tyler Einsman up to Jessica Schaefer. Einsman and Schaefer, some great 1-2 passing, leads to a pass here in the zone and some space. Oh, a good chance there. A good scenario Manatee put themselves in, but just couldn't find the green to get a shot off. Rebecca Burns now to throw it in. She gets it all the way over Lakewood Ranch's line into Meredith Roberts' possession, but her kick trying to hit it on the inside of her foot for an in-swinging hit, instead hit on the outside, and it's far away from the goal. Now for a goal kick, Lakewood Ranch. The kick goes over the head of Lakewood Ranch's midfielder. And Manatee trying to make something of the counterattack here. Jessica Schaefer to the inside. And now Tyler Einsman firing it all the way into the penalty box. Sydney Cornell chasing. Just out of her reach, Manatee throw in at about the 35-yard line. Sydney Marr to throw on the far end of the field. But Lakewood Ranch with a lot of numbers on that side. Manatee tries to switch it. Schaefer's able to find room, but the same kind of shot that Meredith Roberts just took, trying to get her inside of the foot on that ball, but instead swinging her leg, only finding the outside. And a ball far out of bounds. Sydney Larson coming into the game. For Madison Mirandilla. For Lakewood Ranch, it's their first substitution of the game. Manatee trying not to get caught in between with their pass back to the defense. Now all the way back above midfield. Jessica Schaefer trying to find Meredith Roberts down the sideline. Well defended by Lakewood Ranch. It's a throw in here. It'll be taken by Maya Krebser. Krebser throws it into the 18. Can't find her teammate. Brianna Blethen challenges, but no avail. Now all the way back at the Canes defensive end. It's a deflection. But a wise, aggressive move from Manatee's keeper there to go out and attack. Schaefer now threatening down the sideline. Canes throw-in leads to the feet of Maya Krebser. But a poor touch now intercepted from Lakewood Ranch. Mustangs now with possession. Maria Miller now getting all the way behind Rebecca Burns. A challenge using all of her body to try and get in front of Maria Miller while she could. Miller had the burners on, was already past Burns. But a no call as Miller goes to the ground. Some hard defense, but certainly nothing malicious there. Julia Ortiz now on the breakaway for Lakewood Ranch. She knocks it over Manatee's goalie. And that's the hat trick for her. Manatee caught out of position again. And all three goals for Julia Ortiz in the blink of an eye. Passes from the other side of the midfield, the defensive end, all the way up to her. Too much speed from Julia Ortiz. That's been the story of the night for this Manatee defense. Brianna Blethen now starts the counterattack. But you're definitely seeing Lakewood Ranch get more numbers on the defensive end. They have that solid four that they normally have, but the two players that may be farther up in the midfield at the beginning of the game now playing more of a defensive mid role, and you can understand that from what the score reads. Brianna Blethen outside trying to find Sydney Cornell. Out of bounds in a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. 10 minutes in here in this second half at Manatee High School Stadium. The score is 3-1, and here Lakewood Ranch threatens again. Rebecca Burns really frustrating Maria Miller. using her body, getting in between her defender and the ball, as we see a substitution now for Manatee. Clarissa Palmer out. Katie Gabbert back in. A familiar substitution. One that happened in the middle of the first half. Manatee trying to get the ball out of their own zone. Switching fields now to Tyler Einsman. Einsman with a nice back cut. That move has worked so well this game for her. She's done it at least 5 times, which worked to perfection every time. Brianna Blethen now trying to find space, trying to gain possession even in the midfield, as now they switch it out again to Tyler Einsman. Some nice one-touch soccer. Leads to Einsman, crossing it into the edge of the 18, off the head of Lakewood Ranch. Blethen trying to challenge, but mistiming her jump, leading to a throw-in on the far side of the field for Lakewood Ranch. 2 substitutions coming up for Lakewood Ranch. They will take Maria Miller out of the game. Wonder if they'll go more defensive-minded now with Miller out. We'll see if it's the end of her night or just her getting a breather for a bit. Manatee now on the quick counterattack. Brianna Blethen letting a shot go from outside the 18, but it's far and wide. Now a throw in for Lakewood Ranch. A short goal kick, almost intercepted by Manatee at the midfield, but now they'll take over from their defensive end. Katie Gabbert now with the ball. Oh, looking to try and get the ball to Tyler Einsman, but just one few too many passes, but miscommunication for Lakewood Ranch, and they give it right back. Einsman, the quick throw-in, tries to get over the defense. She does. Finds the feet of Jessica Schaefer. Schaefer trying to play it back to Einsman, who plays to Burns in the middle. Burns now switching fields all the way out to Hines on the far end, but miscommunication again leads to something here from Lakewood Ranch. A good job by Maya Krebser to win the ball back. But Manatee looking very unorganized here on the defensive end. Almost proving to be costly. Tyler Einsman doing a nice job working her attacker off the ball, but one too many aggressive plays. And it'll be a free kick at the 25-yard line. Just parallel with the corner of the 18 for Lakewood Ranch. They give an in-swinging ball in the last time, bringing it out to the edge of the 18, trying to get a header on it. We'll see if they do the same thing here. They do a great ball into the 18, but cannot find the head of the teammate, instead finding the head of a Hurricane. Katie Gabbert bringing the ball up as far as she can. Now Sydney Cornell intercepting. Sydney Cornell trying to lead the attack with numbers. She finds a through ball to Meredith Robertson. It's just out of her reach. As a great play from the aggressive Lakewood Ranch goalkeeper comes out and snuffs that attack, which surely would have been another goal in the season for Meredith Roberts. Booming kick here from goal. But Lakewood Ranch getting possession. Out of bounds, deep for a Canes throw-in. Sydney Morrow off now as we see Kyra Himes coming into the game. Manatee coach making a few strategic adjustments. And now he's saying he took too much time. Lakewood Ranch now throwing it in the attacking area. A big booming clear. Oh, could have led for a numbers up counterattack, but an unlucky bounce from Manatee. Katie Gabbard to kick up, trying to find Meredith Roberts, but she was outnumbered 1-3 on the attacking end. Bree Blethen trying to control it in the midfield, as is Sydney Cornell. Cornell, the ball stolen from her, now at the feet of Julia Ortiz and Lakewood Ranch. She gets it up, but nowhere near the speed up front without her. Jessica Schaefer trying to trap the ball and get it to the midfield, but too hard of a pass. Makes it difficult for Manatee to keep possession. Blethen now for Manatee in the midfield, getting it to Sydney Cornell. Cornell now playing a center mid position as opposed to the out wing forward. Meredith Roberts from 20 yards out, taking her shot at goal. Low and away, not nearly enough power to beat the keeper from there. Now we see Kyra Himes checking into the game for Sydney Morrow. Lakewood Ranch resumes play from their own goal kick. A little words exchanged from the official from both coaches. A flying challenge there from Rebecca Burns. Goes out of bounds as Lakewood Ranch takes over at the midfield for a throw-in. Burns again with a heading challenge. Now Lakewood Ranch down the sideline, and the ball goes out for a Canes throw-in. And that brings us to the water break, which means 20 minutes left to play. The home team, Manatee Hurricanes, down 3-0. I'm sorry, 3-1. Julia Ortiz with a hat trick already in this game for Lakewood Ranch. Proving to be too much speed for Manatee's defense, and that's something that, you know, when a team is playing well strategically on the offensive end and they're getting a sizable lead, maybe 1 or 2 goals because they're passing well or they're crossing well, making good runs, that's one thing. That's something that you might be able to counter by, let's say, Manatee being down here. If that were the case for Lakewood Ranch, Manatee might have the ability or the favor to move one of their players from the defensive end, still be okay back there, and get an extra player up and attack. But when your weakness is speed and getting behind the defense is kind of what's been killing you all day, it's so much more of a risk to take another defender and take them out of the defense when you really almost have to put as many back there as you can to try and outnumber them, knowing that you can't really keep up with the speed that their attackers may have. So that might put the Manatee coach in a bit of a bind here. he might be stuck in the formation that he kind of is in. We saw Cornell come to more of a center mid position, trying to get the ball at her feet more often in this game. But outside of that, maybe moving a few key pieces, you might see Tyler Einsman come up and attack. Einsman is a great player where you would love to see her get more up in the attacking end. But it's tough to do that with Lakewood Ranch playing the way that they are. The head of Rebecca Burns clears it, but only for a moment. The ball still pinballing around. And now Julie Ortiz again with a bending shot. Boy, she is just hitting some of these attempts where you just think, there's no way that's going to goal. And it almost took a diving stop from Manatee's keeper to just kill the threat. I don't think that shot was going to go in, but it might have hit the post. Something that when you saw Ortiz just turning around, kind of swinging her long legs, you see that's the kind of trajectory you can get on the ball. Here, the second corner kick of the game for Lakewood Ranch. And a diving save from Manatee's keeper to squander the danger, if only for a moment. And too much play on the ground. Good defense, but it was too much play on the ground, leading to a dangerous free kick just outside of the 18 on the far side of the field. Ortiz on the back post position. A good ball right at the 6-yard box, but it's defended well by Manatee, and now Jessica Schaefer in a foot race all the way down the sideline. She tries to find her teammate in the middle of the field, but she can't. Katie Gabbert was threatening there. Hard challenge from Hines. Getting the ball all the way up, but a quick turnover leads to a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Lakewood Ranch on the move yet again. And a through ball to Ortiz would have put her again one-on-one with the keeper. But a great stop, great interception there from Rebecca Burns. Booming kick here from Burns. Sends Lakewood Ranch retreating, but they gain possession. And now a through ball. A dangerous through ball. Again, right at the edge of that 18. Forcing Mantee's keeper to make a decision. She makes the right one there. Maya Krebs on the far side, trying to make something happen. You just don't have numbers up for Manatee. Clarissa Palmer in for Katie Gabbard. The throw in right at the 6-yard box, but boy, no one there. Now at the feet of Tyler Einsman. Could have been a dangerous position there. Sidney Cornell trying to find some space. Hitting it with the left foot. Low and away for a Lakewood Ranch goal kick. Manatee getting quite a few shots here at the late parts of this second half, but nothing really on goal. Manatee trying to win possession any way that they can. Julia Schaefer with a good challenge. Unlucky. Off the back of the returning Palmer. Ball now at the feet of Jessica Schaefer. Schaefer trying to find both Maya Krebser or Tyler Einsman. She couldn't find either. A poor clear from Lindsay Gould, but a reaffirmed clear from Rebecca Burns. Maria Miller back in the game for Lakewood Ranch. As now Manatee on the counterattack at the feet of Meredith Roberts. Trying to find some open space and a great through ball to Sidney Cornell. Cornell with a great attempt, but a great sliding save by Lakewood Ranch's keeper. Preserving this 2-goal lead. A great run, a great ball. Great teamwork as we've seen again here from Cornell and Roberts. But a great save as well from Lakewood Ranch's keeper. Keeps this game at 3-1. Manatee now trying to get numbers. Brianna Blethen kicks it outside to Clarissa Palmer. Palmer knocks it out off the feet of Lakewood Ranch, and it'll be a throw-in for Manatee as they get Kyra Himes all the way up to take it, getting as many numbers as they can into the attacking area. You see Tyler Einsman as well creeping up from the opposite side of the field, trying to get a deflection. Sidney Cornell trying to work her way in! Oh! Sidney Cornell trying to work her way to possession. She does and toes it into the goal. But her challenge, too aggressive, brings the whistle of the main official to life, and a free kick from the spot. No goal. And possession of Lakewood Ranch. I'm not sure about that one. Boy, 2 goals really from Cornell taken away within the last 2 minutes of play here. One robbed from the goalie, and that's cleanly. The other from the official. It's tough to watch in a soccer game, especially with the score moderately low scoring, when you get your chances like that to have them squandered away. You have to see if it does anything mentally to this team. Einsman playing it back to Burns, who gives it back out to the side. Now a cross in, and a great heading deflection from Jessica Schaefer. Kyra Hyams, a good challenge, but now Lakewood Ranch catching them out of position. Julia Ortiz could have Rebecca Burns in trouble again, but Burns does a nice job of working her way to possession. What a great job by Burns. Danger's not over yet, though. Lakewood Ranch trying to separate for a goal opportunity. Instead, a sliding challenge from Rebecca Burns gets called for what will be a penalty shot, but Burns still on the ground here after that challenge. Appears to be looking at her knee, favoring her right knee. She's up now and walking around, so the injury not too severe, but it will be a penalty kick for Lakewood Ranch. Tough series from Burns there, as she had to, as a soccer player, you kind of get caught up in the moment, and especially in situations like that where Burns had already been burnt for a goal by Julia Ortiz. She was threatening again. It took all of her will to muscle Ortiz away from the ball. Danger wasn't over yet, and she had to sprint all the way to the other side of the 18. Sometimes you could just get too carried away. The sliding challenge, too much to the attacker, and that here leads to the penalty kick. Penalty kick struck well, positioned well, and it is 4-1, Lakewood Ranch. Cornell, Krebser, and Palmer now out of the game for Manatee. It appears as though their night is done with the score what it is and 5 minutes, 30 seconds left to play. Meredith Roberts trying to find the feet of her teammate. Newly substituted Christina Bobrick now on the right wing. Blethen trying to find a teammate on the outside, but it's well defended by Lakewood Ranch. Out for a Manatee throw-in. The speed of Lakewood Ranch again proving to be tough to handle as they get a shot on goal, but a good save here from Manatee's keeper. Boy, Rebecca Burns, you can tell she's just had a lot this game guarding Lakewood Ranch's best attacker. I have a feeling that will be the theme for the year, as she'll probably be matched up against an opposing team's best player. She's been in some physical battles this game. As she's still favoring that right knee that she may have tweaked or injured on the slide tackle that conceded the penalty kick. Here we are with the Lakewood Ranch throw-in at midfield, but it's over the head of the attacker and at the feet of Tyler Einsman. Einsman now giving it back to Burns, who just clears it up aimlessly to midfield for a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Ooh, a poor heading clear. Burns in to save the day again, a sliding challenge. The ball going out of bounds for another Lakewood Ranch throw-in. Down the sideline. Lakewood Ranch keeping possession, clearing it into the 18, but it's bounced out from Manatee. Possession kept, and Brianna Blethen could have a counterattack going here, but Marissa Miller, the speed of Marissa Miller catching up all the way back at midfield from the attack, able to win back possession. She has it now, trying to find the feet of her teammate, but it's deflected, and Manatee trying to get back possession. Blethen now with the ball in midfield. She kicks it back to the defending end, and Lindsay Gould now outside to Kyra Himes. Himes back inside to Gould, who kicks it wide, trying to find Bobrick, but it's off her head and out of bounds. Poor header from Lakewood Ranch leads to a throw-in for Manatee as we enter stoppage time. And now the rest of the game will be on the ref's watch. Burns knocking it up, trying to find Meredith Roberts. A bit of a challenge there, but the goalkeeper wisely out to defend it and knock it clear. Ball back now at the feet of Tyler Einsman. Einsman gives it across to Burns, who just knocks it up, trying to find Meredith Roberts. But it's over her head and rolling back. Now for a goal kick in Lakewood Ranch. Lakewood Ranch taking their time, retrieving the ball, setting the ball up, knowing the rest of the time is in the officials' hands. But they continue to play on here as the ball pinballs around midfield, now landing at the feet of Lakewood Ranch's Maria Miller. Lindsay Gould now retreating, knocking it out of bounds for Manatee and a Lakewood Ranch throw-in. The quick throw from the Mustangs and a ball into the 18! And a goal from Lakewood Ranch on what was surely meant to be a cross near the 6-yard box. Had Manatee's keeper retreating, it's one of those goals where there's not an angle that goalie could have taken to save that ball, and really we've seen 2, almost 3 shots go that way, 2 of them happening for goal. That one there brings this lead to 5-1. Meredith Roberts now taking her chance at goal from far outside, and it's in the hands of Lakewood Ranch's keeper. She'll likely hold for a long goal kick. She boots it up, no final whistle yet, as Manatee tries to clear it up. Burns winning it back, trying to get up to Bobrick on the right side. Throw in Manatee from their own end. A long throw from Rebecca Burns. And more flipping possessions here in the midfield. Lakewood Ranch trying to clear the ball up, but no one's up that far into the attack. Bobrick, some 1-2 passing here from Tyler Einsman. Einsman brings it to midfield, trying to find Bobrick again, but it's cleared out of bounds by Lakewood Ranch. Referee slow to blow his whistle here for the end of the game. You wonder if it may have anything to do with Manatee's head coach. Back when the game was 3-1, almost criticizing the official for being slow to the game, wasting a little bit of time himself, and the referee saying, "I'll give you your time back." Well, that might not be what he was asking for here, now with a 5-1 deficit here at home. Lakewood Ranch just playing around with it on their defensive end, and there it is, finally. The whistle to end this one. Julio Ortiz steals the show from the home team as the visiting Lakewood Ranch Mustangs defeat the hosting Miami Hurricanes by a score of 5-1.